And good morning, my friends. Today we are starting off really early. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. It's gonna be a super long day today just because we have a tour that's gonna take us to 3 locations, historic locations which we are super excited to do today. And joining me, it's my family, sister, brother-in-law, mom, dad. Today's gonna be a all-day thing, so we are just leaving a little bit early just so we can make sure we're there at the stop or at our pickup location. We're taking a tour by Golden Tours today, and again, so it'll take us to Windsor, Bath, and Stonehenge. So hopefully it's beautiful weather. So join me, let's go. And today it is Thursday, March 16, 2023. Starting off here in Marylebone, where we're currently staying at. Should be a fun one. So far we've been riding a lot on these double-deckers, just because it seems like getting on the underground will take just a little bit longer. And plus yesterday there was the first strike since we've been here, and I think there's going to be 2 more in this week. So yeah, double-decker buses is the way to do it right now at the moment. It is a little bit faster. They do get crowded though. But right now we are here in Victoria area. We did make it here to Grosvenor Garden, right next to London Victoria Station. Are you excited for today's tour, Mom? Should be a historic one. Okay, and our meeting point is right here at stop Z6. We are 30 to an hour minutes early. I'm not sure, this might be our buses right here. Maybe this one. It's better to be early than to be late, right? Right here as we wait for our bus. On the distance, I could see the Apollo Theater. It's the Apollo Victoria Theater where Wicked is playing. How cool is that? That only means that the theater where Hamilton is playing should be around here. Our plan was to go see Wicked, but when we got here, we just realized we were way too tired for that. So we just decided to walk a little. We ended up in Chinatown and headed back to the Airbnb super early so we could get some rest. All right, so I think we have a little bit of time to kill. So we're just gonna walk across here and see what we can sightsee before our bus takes off. We've got the Shakespeare pub right there in the corner. Fish and chips. Dude, they have fish and chips right there. It says it's famous. 1860. Alright, so I was wrong. The theater is not on this side. Bus is here. Alright, we have loaded the bus.
Passing through another royal borough. This is the royal borough of Kensington and Chelsea. There are 2 other royal boroughs in the Greater London area, Greenwich and Kingston upon Thames, but this one is Kensington and Chelsea. It is of course well known for its football team. Yes, Chelsea. Do we have any football fans on today? Oh, sorry, my American cousins, you call it soccer. Yes, we call it football because it's a game played with the feet. Football, yes. American football. Now, could we discuss that? I'm not sure you should have called it that. Yes, America, let's throw it quite a lot, kick it now and again, Paul Babs, yes. I do follow NFL. I'm a fairly avid Buffalo Bills fan. Any Bills fans on today? I've still not met one. There must be somebody in the States who supports the Bills, yes? I was told the other day that Bills is an acronym for Best in League at Losing Super Bowls, which is sadly oh so harsh, but sadly it's oh so true. Yes, I think we're up to about 5 we've lost now. By far and away the royal family's favourite residence. The castle was originally built back in the 11th century at the time of the death of Edward the Confessor, our last Anglo-Saxon king. He died in 1065 and 2 gentlemen thought they had the right to the throne of England. A man called Harold Godwinson proclaimed himself as King Harold, but a man called William, Duke of Normandy, arrived from France, also saying he had the right to the throne of England. They had a battle to settle things. You may have heard of it, the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Harold was killed. He got an arrow in his eye. William was the Conqueror. So William the Conqueror, also known as William I, set his sights on London because he thought if he could control London, he could control England. Because William had a problem. He was a French-speaking king trying to impose his will on an English-speaking Anglo-Saxon population. So he built the Tower of London right next door to the City of London to show who was boss. And then to show the rest of the country who was boss, he went about building lots of other castles, including 9 within a day's march of the Tower of London. And Windsor was one of those 9 castles. Originally, it was built in what's called a motte and bailey design. A motte is a man-made mount surrounded by a moat, a bailey an enclosure, normally enclosed by a wooden palisade, although of course all the wood has now been replaced by stone ramparts. On top of each motte was normally a keep or a tower. The largest tower at Windsor is called the Round Tower, although it is not strictly round as it has one square side. But it is known as the Round Tower. On the top of that tower there will be a flagpole, and on top of that flagpole there will be a flag. And that flag will indicate to you and I whether the king is in the building or not. If it's a Union flag, the flag of the United Kingdom, that will indicate to you and I that the king is not in the building. If, however, it's a yellow, blue and red flag, which is known as a royal standard, that will indicate to you and I that the king is in the building. So have a look at the flag when you get to the castle. But there is the castle to your left. It's divided into 3 sections. On the left is your upper ward where the royal family have their apartments. In the middle is the middle ward with the big tower, and on the right is the chapel, which is down, that's the lower ward. A castle built to defend the River Thames, and here is the River Thames, left and right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, River Thames, left and right. Yeah, the castle defends or did defend the western approaches of London and the River Thames, hence why the castle is directly on the river.
Okay, so we just entered here at Windsor. Here's the railway. We got a replica of the Queen's train here. This is Queen Victoria. We got a pretty large group today. Walking towards Windsor Castle now. There's initials for Queen Victoria, as I mentioned earlier. The P.O. boxes, they do have initials for the past kings and queens. Really, they have a Five Guys here at Windsor. And so we are about to see our first castle of this trip, which is, of course, Windsor Castle. We are here. So we've passed through security and we're walking towards the castle now. Alright, so we only got about like 45 minutes or less to wander around. They did say that the chapel does get a long queue, so we're actually like the first group to enter the castle. So we're gonna head out to the chapel first. Did they say bear left? So we're gonna go to our, oh, this must be it right here. So St. George's Chapel. This chapel has tombs of the past kings and queens here. One of those being King Henry VIII, who is buried here in the middle of the choir hall. But also the most famous one, it's our last king of the American colonies, for all you Hamilton musical lovers. Yeah, and that is King George III. Nope, I'm not gonna start singing at all. But also here it's King Charles I, who is the only king that got executed by beheading. And many other kings and queens are right here. But also her Royal Majesty will be laid to rest here in the vault of King George VI, who is her father, alongside with her husband, Philip, and of course her parents. So I know her name has been inscribed on the gravestone, so we're gonna get to see that. So yeah, no pictures or video allowed, so let's go. Do open at 10 o'clock, so we have to wait here for a while. Just finished with St. George's Chapel. It was a quick walkthrough. They don't really have everything open. You just have to walk this path, which kind of sucks because there's a lot of stuff in there that we kind of wanted to see. There's no filming or photographs inside, so bummer. We're gonna walk around Windsor Castle now. Okay, so now we're making our way to the state apartments here at Windsor Castle. And so again, no filming or photographs inside, so we're gonna put you guys away now. Well, I just missed like 5 minutes of recording just because I didn't press the record button. But because we are out of time, we were kind of rushed through this little tour because our bus tour does leave in around 15 minutes, so I have to head back to the bus stop now. We're about to do the changing of the guard here shortly, or they're just preparing. But we do have to exit through here before they come around, because or else we'll get stuck in here and we miss our bus. So out we go, back to the bus stop. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people lined up here to watch the changing of the guard. Alright, say goodbye to Windsor Castle. We're out of here.
if you look to your left at 11 o'clock, you'll see up what's called the Long Drive. There to your left is the Long Drive. And right down the end there, that speck in the distance is indeed the statue of George III. Yes, boo, yes. Now, other films that have been filmed at this park include Into the Woods, Snow White and the Huntsman, and believe it or not, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, not the sea scenes, obviously, but the woods scenes were done here.
We have it right at the Stonehenge Visitor Center. We need to take a shuttle that will take us out to the actual stones, but we're here. We've made it. Stonehenge, let's go. So once we got to the visitor center, we took this brown shuttle right here that brought us out to the stones. We're here to see cheap. All right, we still have quite a walk to get to the stones. But they're over there. Okay, so finally here at the famous historic Stonehenge. So apparently the stones weren't always protected by this little fence that you easily jump over, but you're not allowed to go in the stones anymore just because of people tagging, chipping at the rocks and just damaging them. So they decided to close it out and nobody is allowed to go in there anymore. It's quite busy out here. Can't really see the visitor center from here. It's quite far away. It's crazy how the main freeway, highway, whatever they call it over here, right next to the stones, right next to Stonehenge. Imagine how many people slowed down. I wonder if there's any like constant car crashes.
That means they all have the same valve.
Yeah, so they're saying that the burrows, the mounds, probably cannot see from here or not clearing the camera up, but there's a lot of mounds all over Stonehenge. Those are burial grounds where they were buried the dead. Had to put my hoodie on because it's freezing out here and it's windy. The good thing that's not raining, so I got lucky with that one. And so nobody knows why they were built. Some say that it was a calendar. Others say it was a place for sacrificing animals and humans. Yeah, so nobody knows how the stones got over here. What do you guys think? How in the world do they put stones on top of each other that size and that heavy? Stonehenge, just to view it, take some photos, film it a little. And that was pretty awesome because I never thought I would be out here, never in my life. Always watching it on TV, on movies. But we are here, we came, and I could say now I visited Stonehenge.
Towers that did not have spires. There to your right is a Norman church. There's the village green where they play cricket and have a village fete every year. And then round the corner, the all-important pub, originally called the Pope's Head. Today it's called the King's Head. That is because Henry VIII fell out with the Pope. The Pope refused to give him a divorce from his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. So Henry VIII threw his toys out of the pram and said, okay, in that case, I'll start my own church. This is what he did. He started the Church of England, he made himself the head of the Church of England, and he granted himself a divorce. Yes, all rather clever. And he changed all the Pope's head pups to the King's head. Now, the whole of Bath is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's the only city in the entire United Kingdom that is actually all completely World Heritage because of its fabulous Roman ruins and because there's some of the best examples of Georgian architecture that you'll find anywhere in this country. Now, you'll quickly notice that most of the buildings in Bath are actually built from the same stone, a honey-coloured brick called Bath sandstone, although its official title is oolitic yellow limestone. Now, oolite means egg-like. When they mine the rock on the edge of the city, it's white, but when they build with it, it turns yellow, like an egg, hence oolite. And when the Romans arrived in the 1st century AD, after they'd had a few fights and skirmishes with the indigenous tribes in the area, they learned to live in peace with the pagans, and they built a temple to the Roman goddess Minerva and the pagan god ZeuS, about where the Roman baths are situated in Bath today. Indeed, at the height of Roman occupation, this area was known as Aqua Sulis, the waters of ZeuS. Now, when the Roman Empire faded, the Anglo-Saxons took over and they built on top of the baths. But because they didn't use foundations for any of their buildings, actually preserved the baths rather well. By the time we got to the 9th century, King Alfred the Great had fortified Bath as what was known as a borough or a burgh against attack from the Vikings. By the time we got to the 12th century, Bath was a very prosperous place because of the wool trade. But sadly, in the 14th century, the plague arrived in the city and virtually decimated the entire population. By that point, the temple had gone to rack and ruin and the baths had silted over rather badly. And it wasn't until we got to the early 18th century, at the time of Queen Anne. Yes, you remember Queen Anne, she of all those failed pregnancies? Well, she heard about the spa waters in Bath and thought they might help with her fertility. So Queen Anne headed on down to Bath. Now, because the Queen came down to Bath, lots of lords and ladies and aristocrats followed suit, and before long, Bath was the place to be. They held what were called Bath weekends, lots of partying into the night, drinking, gambling, horse racing took place, and ladies would come down to Bath, dress up in their finest dresses, and then walk around in circles, doing what was called perambulating, trying to catch the eye of a prospective husband. Okay, now back to the ladies. Now, the ladies and gentlemen probably would end up in what's called the pump room. Now, those who go inside the baths, you will come out of the baths through one of the two pump rooms. Now, in those days, a pump room was a bit like a social meeting place. Ladies and gentlemen would stand in the pump room and they would sip the mineral-rich waters of the spring together. But they didn't talk to each other. No, they left that to a man called Richard Beau Nash. Now, Beau Nash was known as the Master of Ceremonies. He was a bit like a dating agency in many ways, because he made it his job to find out all he could about all the ladies and all the gentlemen who frequented the pump room. So much so that if a gentleman liked the look of a particular lady, all he had to do was ask Beau Nash if he thought they would be compatible with one another. And if Beau Nash thought they would, he would offer the lady in question a ball ticket, and then the gentleman and the lady would meet at the ball that evening, and that would be the first time they'd actually talk to each other.
You could smell the water like it has been left for a long time, almost like a bathroom or shower. It hasn't been cleaned in a long time. So here we're displaying that statue and that pillar. Kind of looks like some kind of sacrificing place. It's over there in that corner. Here, where the statue would have been. Right, you can see the water boiling and the steam rising up. Maybe you can't really see it with the camera. called the immersion pool. And in here we have the swimming baths. This thing's huge right here. Oh, you can see the buttocks. Oh no. So cool to see all the ruins that dates back to the Roman times. Okay, it looks like these were some kind of saunas. Saunas with smaller jacuzzis in each archway. So this is called a frigidarium. This was a cold bath area right here. So after taking a hot bath in the big pool, they would jump out here to the cold bath or the cold pools to close out the pores in their skin. Yeah, so the hot baths, which springs, they said that they had healing powers, so that's why they will come and take hot baths over here. Inside of here is the gym. This is where they would have some activities. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the Roman baths were public baths. So people in the city would just come out here, just like another pool day. Just come hang out, splash water, play around, take a hot bath. And people would actually just sit here in the sides, just looking at people bath all day. This nice, warm, or hot, it is steaming. Just hot pool. All right, this is Roman baths, and we're done with this tour, I think. We're gonna head out. And here flows the water. That's it right there. The water is untreated. Please do not drink or touch. As much as I want to touch it and see how hot it is, I don't want to die. Just when I thought it was over there, there's still more baths. These are the West baths. They just had pools all over the place. Looks like this is where we drop off our audio guides, because now for realies it's over, and it looks like the spa water, they have it closed where we could actually touch it or even drink it. I think water fountain is closed until further notice. Well, that sucks. Looks like we're not tasting the hot springs. Oh, and with every attraction, you always exit at the shop. So this is the Roman bath shop. And it has started to sprinkle. There's some light rain right now. So hopefully it doesn't start raining pretty hard, because I did leave my umbrella in the bus because I didn't think it was gonna rain. But this is it. This is the last attraction for today. We did Windsor, we did Stonehenge, and we did the Roman baths. So right here next to the Roman baths, we have Bath Abbey, which we wouldn't have time to go explore the Abbey just because we have run out of time. The nice thing is that they did let us film and take pictures inside the baths, not like the other locations. Pretty cool. And so what it looks just like a normal street right there with the shops on the sides. You guys see what it actually is. I wonder if that's how London Bridge used to look like when it had its houses right on the side of the bridge. So what is the street right there? Behind it is actually a bridge. Look at this beauty right here. And this is what it's called, Pulteney Bridge, if I'm saying that correctly. So picturestic. So we visited 3 sites today. And I kind of wish that we had a lot more time to explore. Felt like we were rushed through the whole tour, especially Windsor. Windsor, we had like maybe 30 to 40 minutes only, and that place is huge. I wish I could have explored a little bit more. And plus, I did miss the recording because I didn't press the record button. I did miss the grass lawn, which is like the moat where I think royal weddings take place there. And Stonehenge, well, Stonehenge was an okay just because you're just because you're just looking at stones. It's not much to look at. But for sure, Windsor and Bath, maybe sometime I'll come back and spend a little bit more time exploring and not do the tour. I mean, I guess it's a good thing to do the tour because it kind of learn what the area is like, how much time you need. But yeah, this is the end of the tour. Heading back to our bus, Golden Tours. And we're gonna head back to London now, which is a 2.5-hour drive. And our bus actually just got here as crossing the crosswalk. All right, guys, we'll see you back in London. All right, so we stopped here at Stanhope and Arms Pub. It says right there that famous fish and chips since 1960. So we're gonna try some fish and chips right here. We just came back from our tour and I was a little bit thirsty, so got myself a drink. Cheers. All right, folks, here it is, fish and chips. Look at that big old piece. The fish and chips was great. Right here at Stanhope and Arms. We're in Gloucester Street or Road. Oh, it's right here, right in front of Gloucester Station, the Underground. Ow, that's loud. All right, guys, after that 12-hour tour, what do you guys feel like doing now?
Want to go home, use the restroom, take a shower, and lay down, relax.
All right.
Same. So we woke up really early. It's time to go sleep and rest. And take a snorkel.
Anywhere, whatever. Like going. All right, looks like me and my dad are going on an adventure. 'Cause everybody's a weenie.